Then investments 150, government spendings 150, net taxes 100. Taxes are lump sum. So point A, we should solve for equilibrium GDP, disposable income, and consumption. Okay, Anastasia, please, what we should do?
So firstly, we should put into the formula everything we know. So we will have y equals to C 160 plus 0.6 disposable income plus 150 plus 150 and plus 100. It is consumption plus investment plus government spending and plus net taxes.
No,
and so
what's happening? So we have this formula, yes? Expenditures equal to the sum of planned expenses of all economic agents, yes? So, okay. And also we know that what is produced to be equal in equilibrium, what is expected to buy, yes? So we will have GDP equal to everything that you told us. Let's put everything in our formula. 160, 0.8, y minus taxes, 100, plus investment, plus 150. And so from here, the answer.
I'm sorry, why don't we put here net taxes?
One more time, consumption is autonomous consumption plus marginal propensity to consume plus disposable income. Disposable income is our income minus taxes. So instead of disposable income, we put income minus taxes.
Yeah, I mean, just in general in the formula. Like, shouldn't we include also the net taxes when we are writing what total GDP equals to?
As you remember, the formula for total GDP is the sum of expenditures of all economic agents that are present in the market right now. Yes, it's expenses of households, consumption, plus expenses of firms, investment, plus expenses of government, its government spendings. Yes, and spendings of foreign sector, it's net export. But here we speak about closed economy. Net export equals to 0, as we speak about closed economy.
Okay, then we should put we can see that we will have disposable income equals 150 minus 100.
So GDP in equilibrium will be equal to 1,000, yes? And disposable income, how much? Guys, who solved this equation?
700.
700?
Yes, I think.
Yes, 700.
So 700, then disposable income. 600, yes? And consumption.
Uh, 580.
Something wrong.
Yes.
Why?
I'm sorry, can I
Wait.
ask a question?
Yes, please.
How did we got 700?
I don't know. 1,000
Actually,
the answer. Who
1,000,
told me
okay.
Yes.
700? 1,000 here 900. And then consumption.
700.
700, yeah, I misused it.
So, okay. So let me explain one more time why we have such formulas in Keynesian cross model. So we have expenses, yes, planned expenditures of all economic agents. Yes, here we have closed economy. That's why we do not have here net export. Yes. So, and we know that in equilibrium, planned expenditures should be equal to what is actually produced. Yes. So our GDP, actual production, how much is bought and sold, should be equal to planned expenses. Let us write down this. In equilibrium, GDP should be equal to planned consumption plus planned investments plus planned GDP, government spendings. Our consumption, as you see, consists of 160. This constant is autonomous consumption. Yes, that does not depend on disposable income. And this 0.6, how we call it? Please answer.
C1,
Yeah.
MPC, no?
marginal propensity
Yeah,
for
yeah.
consumption.
Yes, marginal propensity to consume. Marginal propensity to consume. So here we will have open this. Autonomous consumption plus marginal propensity to consume multiplied by disposable income. Disposable income is our income after we pay taxes. So plus investment plus government spendings. And from here, you can open the brackets and find Y, yes, and find GDP. So 1 minus marginal propensity to consume multiplied by GDP equal to autonomous consumption minus marginal propensity to consume multiplied by taxes plus investments constant plus government spendings constant. So from here, equilibrium GDP will be equal to 1 over 1 minus marginal propensity to consume multiplied by everything autonomous. So here, autonomous consumption. This constant, these parts are all constant. Lump sum taxes, investments constant, yes, in our task, and government spending is also constant. So these, in brackets, they are autonomous spendings. Let's call it, for example, A capital. How we call this multiplier? Please answer.
Autonomous spending multiplier.
Autonomous spending multiplier. Yes, exactly. So this is autonomous spending multiplier. This number, this multiplier will show us by how much our GDP will increase if we will increase our autonomous spendings by 1. For example, if our multiplier equal to 5, that will mean if this number equal to 5, that means that if we increase autonomous spendings by 1, then GDP will increase by 5 because we have multiplier effect. Okay, so and we can use this formula to find our GDP 1,000. We will use this next time. Or you can put numbers very fast and find also the same GDP. Okay, then next.
I'm sorry, so we should always consider the closed economy even if we are arguing the net taxes, right? So we always should take that it is a closed economy.
If you have in the task open economy, you will work with open economy.
So it should be written because here it's not stated that it's closed, so we take it that it's closed.
Yes, if you do not have information about net export, then it is closed economy. Yes. Good question. Thank you. So point B. In point B. Now suppose government spending decreases to 110. We should solve for equilibrium GDP one more time. Long way to solve one more time how we did it in point A. Fast way, and I will show you for you to understand how this multiplier will work. So one more time, the definition of multiplier. If we will increase autonomous spendings by 1, GDP will increase by this number, by this multiplier. So the change in GDP here, delta is change. Greater than 0 if it will increase, less than 0 if it will decrease. The change in GDP consists of our multiplier of autonomous spendings multiplied by the change in autonomous spendings. Then, what can be changed in autonomous spendings? Each part, yes? Here can be the change in autonomous consumption, or the change in taxes, or the change in investments, or the change in government spendings. In our task, what information we have? We have information that government spendings decreases to 110. So what conclusion we can make? The change in government spendings will be equal to how much?
40.
How much?
40. Because previously we have 150.
No,
No, it decreases to 110.
it's going to be minus 40.
Minus 40.
Yes.
Yeah.
That matters. So here minus 40. Okay, and everything else does not change. So here we have in our task we have autonomous consumption constant. So the change in autonomous consumption equal to 0. Yes. Taxes constant, change in taxes equal to 0. Investments constant, change in investments equal to 0. So we have only change in government spending. So we will use it to find the change in GDP. The change in GDP will be equal to multiplier of autonomous spendings, 1 over 1 minus marginal propensity to consume, multiplied by only the change in government spendings, yes, because it is only variable. And let's put everything. 1 over 1 minus marginal propensity to consume 0.6 multiplied by minus 14. Answer, by how much GDP will decrease? Please answer.
Minus 100, no?
Minus 100, yes. Our multiplier, this one, will be equal to 2.5, yes?
Yes.
What that means? That means that if we increase government spendings by 1, then GDP will increase by 2.5, because we have multiplier effect.
So it will be 2,500. We just increase it by 2.5. Yeah, the previous one.
We decrease here government spendings by 40, and
Yes.
we have what influence we will have? GDP will decrease by 100, more
okay.
than 40. Yes.
Okay, I got it.
So new level of GDP will be equal to how much?
900.
900. Yes, we had 1,000 before, and now it decreases by 100. 900. Then what else we need to find? We should answer. How would your answer change if the households in this economy had a higher marginal propensity to consume? What that means? Higher marginal propensity to consume. Let me write where.
Can you please remind what does mult mean?
Multiplier of autonomous.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, can I ask a question?
Please.
Can you explain please one more time why we have minus 40, not just only 40?
Because government spending decreases, not increases. If we will have 40, that means that they became 190.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
So, okay. So what we have? One more time. GDP, equilibrium GDP, equal to 1/1 minus marginal propensity to consume. This is autonomous spendings multiplier multiplied by all these autonomous spendings. Yes, I will not write. So what that means? That means that if marginal propensity to consume will increase, what will happen with denominator? Denominator will decrease. Agree?
Yes.
Yes.
That means that all multiplier, what will happen to him? Increase, yes? We divide by something lower than before. So if marginal propensity to consume increases, that means that multiplier of autonomous spendings increases. And if it is increases, then GDP will increase more than before. Yes?
Yeah.
So if we increase, for example, if we decrease, here we decrease our government spendings, that means that GDP will decrease more than before. Why it is happening? What means marginal propensity to consume? This is the part of your disposable income that you spend on consumption. So how you can spend your disposable income? You can consume or save. Two options, yes? And if marginal propensity to consume increases, that means that now you consume more than before. Yes?
Yes.
But if you consume more than before, and consumption, as you remember, consumption is a part of GDP. Yes? If you consume more, that means that GDP increases more than before. This multiplier effect becomes stronger. Agree? Stronger multiplier effect if marginal propensity to consume increases. Let's write down. Stronger multiplier. On economy. You can check. For example, here will be, I don't know, now not 0.6 but 0.8. Then you will have multiplier. How much? Instead 0.25. Yes, instead of 2.5, you will have 5, and that means that if government spendings will decrease by 40, then GDP will decrease not by 100 but by 200. Stronger effect of policy.
I'm sorry, what is after we are writing the sequence MPC increases, and then what is this what is it?
Effect.
No, not this, the second thing.
This?
No, the next one.
Multiplier of autonomous spendings increases.
Okay, thank you.
This one. 1 minus MPC.
But Polina Antonina, I have a question. I have a question. So if our multiplier increases, that also means that our overall consumption increases, yes?
That that one more time, sorry.
If our multiplier increases, that means that our overall consumption also increases.
Our consumption increases because marginal propensity to consume increases.
Yes, so GDP also increases. But here we say that the GDP actually becomes even lower than it was before. So this is due to the fact that government spendings decreases.
Yes, because we decrease government spendings. That's why stronger effect. That's why GDP will decrease more. And if we will have government spendings increase, that means that GDP will stronger increase.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Thank you very
Stronger
much.
effect. Okay. More questions?
I also have a question about the formula. So when we increase the marginal propensity to consume, you told us about denominator which decreases. I don't really
Yes.
know what's the denominator.
Знаменатель.
Все, yeah.
А можно вопрос?
Длитель, деноминатор и знаменатель.
Можно вопрос по самой теории Кейнса? А Кейнс сам рассуждал в ВВП? Ну, то есть в его время же вроде ВВП не было, просто ради интереса.
Он же
Где
рассматривал...
она, ну да, где она была использована изначально? Это просто...
Еще раз, что такое ВВП? Это вот если мы считаем по расходам, да, ВВП, это просто расходы всех экономических агентов, да, которые у нас есть в экономике. Расходы домохозяйств, расходы фирм, расходы государства, расходы иностранного сектора. Окей, думал о том, сколько люди тратят бабок. Он думал о расходах, значит, можно сделать вывод, что он думал о ВВП. Если даже это еще раньше не называли. Совокупные расходы. Совокупные доходы равны совокупным расходам. В доходах тоже. Да, это все было, просто это просто так не называлось. Мы теперь...
Хорошо, просто ради интереса.
Окей. Let's continue. See. It is often argued that in times of crisis, maintaining a balanced budget destabilizes the economy. Why might this be so? And also we'll answer point D here. You want to answer? Valeria, please.
So we're going talking about crisis, as I understand. And we have balanced budget. It means that our taxes will be equal to government spendings. So it means that if we increase government spendings, then our забыла, что буква значит. Why?
GDP.
Then our GDP will increase too. If we will decrease taxes, then our GDP will increase the same.
Now, if we increase taxes, what that means?
It means that GDP will increase too. No, no. Taxes decrease, not increase.
Okay.
It's gonna be, yeah. So, oh my God. We should use the formula delta GDP equal to 1 divided by 1 minus MPC.
So if we increase government spendings, that means that change in GDP equal to 1 over 1 minus marginal propensity to consume multiplied by the change in government spendings. Okay.
Wait a second. Maybe someone else want to answer. I'm confused a little bit.
Artur?
Yes. If okay, once again, where did we stop? Where did Lara stop?
When we decrease taxes, that means that GDP
GDP will also increase. So in the times of crisis, now when we have the taxes the same as the government spendings, we can say that the criticism can be valid because then GDP will, I think, decrease in this proportion. No?
No, it will increase, but not much. Okay. So, okay, let me continue. You see that to stimulate economy to come out of crisis, we need to make stimulating fiscal policy. We need to increase government spendings, yes, to increase GDP, or we should decrease taxes to increase GDP. Agree? So, but if we have balanced budget, what we will do? If we increase government spendings, we should also increase taxes just to make budget balanced. Yes. So that means that when we increase taxes, this will have here we will have decrease in GDP, and here we will have increase in GDP. So they are these effects are in the opposite way. Agree?
Yes.
And if we will have balanced budget, that means that and stimulate economy, GDP will increase, but not too much. I will prove it for you right now. So, okay, good. These are two options, how to stimulate economy, how government can stimulate economy. So here are options of stimulating fiscal policy. Let's write down stimulating fiscal policy. So here we wrote, yes, what's happening. Let me remind. So change in GDP equal to 1 over 1 minus marginal propensity to consume multiplied by here autonomous consumption change plus change in government spendings minus marginal propensity to consume multiplied by the change in taxes plus the change in investments. So if we have the change in taxes, other things equal, yes, here 0, 0, 0, and change in taxes. But here with taxes, we have minus marginal propensity to consume, yes? So we will have change in GDP equal to minus marginal propensity to consume over 1 minus MPC multiplied by the change in taxes. If we stimulate economy, we decrease taxes, so the change in taxes is less than 0. Yes, negative change in taxes. Negative change in taxes we multiply by this, you see here minus, by negative number. So we have increase in GDP. It will be bigger than 0. Agree?
Yes.
Then, what effects we have here in these two policies? If we work with increasing government spendings, you remember that GDP consists of all spendings of all economic agents, consumption plus investment plus government spendings. And if we increase government spendings, we immediately increase GDP. This is direct effect of this policy. We immediately increase GDP. Agree? So when we use increase in government spendings, we will have direct effect. That means that when we increase government spendings, then immediately GDP will increase. What is happening then? What is happening next? If GDP increases, that means that our disposable income increases. Yes? So if GDP increases, that means that disposable income of households increases. And if disposable income increases, that means that our consumption increases. And consumption is also a part of GDP. You see?
Yes.
And if consumption increases, that means that GDP then increases. Then disposable income increases, then consumption increases, and this is the work of multiplier effect. This is the work of multiplier effect, and this we will call indirect effect, because this is this is happening not immediately. Immediately, we have here direct effect, immediate change of GDP. But then what is happening then? This is indirect effect of this fiscal policy. Indirect multiplier effect. Then if we will speak about second fiscal policy, change in taxes, if we decrease taxes. Do we have taxes in our formula for GDP? We do not have here taxes, yes? So
Yes.
we will not have, by using this policy, we will not have direct effect. So we only will have indirect effect. Why? Let's explain. If taxes are lower, that means that our disposable income increases. And if disposable income increases, then consumption increases, then GDP increases, and continue. Only indirect effect. So, which policy is stronger? First one or second one? Please answer.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Which of two policies is stronger to stimulate by using government spendings or by cutting taxes? Which policy will increase GDP more? Veronica, please.
Well, first policy, because it has direct effect.
Yes, the difference is from these two policies, direct effect, yes? Here we have two effects, direct and indirect effect. And here we have only indirect effect.
May I also ask a question? Why do we have minus MPC there in formula for taxes?
One more time, the change in GDP is 1/1 minus marginal propensity to consume, this multiplier of autonomous spendings. And here we will have all changes of autonomous spendings. Change in autonomous consumption plus change in government spendings plus changes in investments minus marginal propensity to consume multiplied by the change in taxes. This equal to 0 and taxes multiplied by marginal propensity to consume.
Oh, I see it now. Okay, thank you.
You see, because we multiply marginal propensity in our consumption, we multiply marginal propensity to consume only on our disposable income.
Thank you.
Okay. Then, so, but if, third policy, if we want to use the balanced budget policy, So for example, we want to increase government spendings, but we need to increase taxes at the same time to make budget balance, to stay budget balanced, yes? So that means that the change in government spending should be equal to the change in taxes. Agree? And this should happen at the same time. What will happen with GDP? Change in GDP, 1 over 1 minus MPC, multiplied by no changes in autonomous consumption. We have change in government spendings, no change in investments, but we have change in taxes, minus MPC multiplied by the change in taxes. But we know that the change in government spending is equal to the change in taxes. So these two are equal to each other, yes? And we can write here change in government spendings. And then put change in government spendings out of brackets. What we will have? This will be 1 minus marginal propensity to consume over 1 minus marginal propensity to consume multiplied by the change in government spendings. This equal to 1. Yes?
So the GDP will increase in G?
Yes. If we use this balanced budget policy, then GDP will increase only by this change in government spendings. There will be no multiplier effect. You see this?
Is it really effective?
This is my question for you. This is the worst effective policy in when we have crisis. Yes?
Yes.
We will have here only the direct effect, no multiplier effect, because these two policies, they will kill each other. This indirect effect will be killed, yes, because they are opposite right now. We increase government spending, so we'll have direct effect and indirect effect, but also we increase taxes, and when we increase taxes, we will have decrease in GDP, so we will have opposite indirect effect, yes, and these two effects, they will kill each other. So we will stay with only change in government spendings, and that's all. No multiplier effect, no influence on consumption.
And it is only working in the short run, I suppose, yes?
Now we speak only about short run. We will speak about long run. I don't know in which class. Later, okay? So, let's put here places like we are in competition. So to stimulate economy, to make GDP higher when we have crisis, the best what we can do is to increase government spendings. Yes, this is the first place. Give the medal. Second place is to cut taxes. It will stimulate economy, but not too much than working with government spendings. And the worst policy is to use balanced budget policy, to increase government spendings and taxes such that budget will be balanced. Why? Because in this situation, we will have only small direct effect on economy. You can compare these multipliers, this one, and 1. You see that the first multiplier is the biggest one, the biggest effect. Why? Because here we have, in nominator, we have 1. Here we have marginal propensity to consume. Marginal propensity to consume less than 1. Yes, so this multiplier will be below 1. And 1 is less than both these multipliers. Why? Because in both these multipliers, we divide by something less than 1. That means that multiplier will be bigger than 1. They are bigger than 1. And here we have only 1. Guys, now ask, please. So we make the conclusion that balanced budget destabilizes the economy because to stimulate the economy, balanced budget policy is the worst. Yes, we should. If we have very, if we have recession, if we have big crisis, yes, we need to stimulate very fast and we need very strong stimulation of economy. So we need more effective policy to use, but we cannot use this most effective policy if we have balanced budget. Okay. And point D we explained.
Okay.
Guys,
Thank you.
ask about second task. We move on, and now we will consider number 4. In number 4, we will speak about paradox of thrift. What that means? Paradox сбережений. Who can explain?
Can you repeat once again?
What means paradox of thrift? Yulia, please.
Well, as I understand, and speaking in basic terms, in simple terms, that means that when the consumption increases, when the autonomous consumption increases, that results in the overall decrease in the level of output.
When savings increases, not consumption.
Yeah, when savings increases, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Also decrease in demand, as I remember.
Yes, to decrease demand for goods, that means to decrease our consumption spendings, that means to save more. So we have two options, to save or to consume. Yes, what to do with our money, with our disposable income. So, and this paradox tells us that when we expect crisis, what we begin to do? We begin to save more. Yes, and this crisis, because we save more, this crisis happens faster. Yes, it's like how to self-fulfilling expectations, самосбывающиеся ожидания. Когда мы начинаем больше сберегать, да, еще быстрее кризис начинает происходить, да, еще быстрее зарплаты падают и так далее. Why it is happening? Because when we save more, that means that we consume less, and lower consumption as a part of GDP decreases GDP. Yes, and what we need to do when we expect crisis, we need not to save but to consume more, and this is the paradox. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So let us write down. We have consumption here 90 plus 0.8 multiplied by disposable income. Then investment 50, government spending is 8, taxes 10. Point A. Point A, we should derive the national saving function for this economy. National savings, it's the sum of savings of households, we call them private savings, plus savings of the government. Savings of the government, from previous class, we know that this is the difference between taxes and government spendings.
Yes.
And here you see that we work with closed economy. So these national savings, they are equal to total savings of all economy. Okay. What means private savings here? How we can find them? We know that our disposable income is consumption plus our savings. So we know consumption, we can find private savings. So disposable income minus our consumption.
It's gonna be It's going to be 0.2 GDP minus 90.
Yes. No, not GDP, but disposable income.
Disposable income, yeah, sorry.
Or you tell the answer for national.
No, I'm telling the answer for private spendings right now.
Private savings.
Savings, yes. Savings, no spendings.
Agree. So YD minus 90 minus 0.8 YD. This is 0.2 YD minus 90. Exactly, yes. So let's find national savings. This is private savings plus government savings. Government savings 10 minus 8. This is 0.2 disposable income minus 88. But also we know disposable income. Disposable income, as you remember, is our total income minus taxes. And taxes we know. So this will be 0.2 minus 0.2 multiplied by 10. Taxes equal to 10 from our task. Minus 88. And national savings will be equal to 0.2 minus
90.
Yes. So that's why I asked, you see? So, okay, this we found. Next. Any questions about this? We only calculated by using definition. Then we should find the equilibrium level of output in this economy. Equilibrium output level. Let's use our formula, please, because we do not have time. Yes, you remember to find in Keynesian price, you should use multiplier multiplied by autonomous spendings of all economic agents. CA plus I plus J plus what minus marginal propensity to consume multiplied by T. Maybe somebody can count very fast.
It's gonna be 700.
700. GDP. GDP will be equal to what?
Yes.
GDP is 700. Okay.
Yes.
And
savings are gonna be 50, if I'm not wrong.
Let's see. So here 700 counted. Then national savings. We are asked to find 0.2 multiplied by 700 minus 90. 50. Yes. If I do not know this formula, I will tell the answer about national savings immediately. What I should use, what I know about total savings in the economy. They are always equal to what? This macroeconomic identity.
Investment?
So investment, yes. And investments, we know from the task, they're equal to 50. So you can count, or you can tell the answer immediately. 50. Yes? Okay, let us show on Keynesian cross. To show in Keynesian cross, we should first of all find expenditures. You know, as we wrote in the previous task, expenditures is the sum of planned expenditures of all economic agents, C plus I plus J. This is autonomous consumption plus marginal propensity to consume multiplied by Y minus taxes, disposable income plus investment plus government spendings. Yes? From here, this will be equal to marginal propensity to consume multiplied by GDP plus CA minus MPC multiplied by tax plus I plus J. This we know. We call it autonomous spendings. In our task, we can put answers. We can put numbers. Planned expenditures of all economic agents will be equal to 0.8 multiplied by Y plus autonomous spendings. Let's count 90 plus 50 plus 8 and minus 8. 90 plus 50, 140. So you see expenditures is a line with positive slope. Yes. Slope equal to marginal propensity to consume. And we start from autonomous spendings. So in Keynesian cross, horizontal axis, actual output, actual income, GDP here. Vertical axis, planned expenditures. Not planned, but expenditures. So planned expenditures in our economy, this one. We start from 140, this is our autonomous spendings, and then the slope 0.8, yes, lower than 1. And it is equal to marginal propensity to consume. Agree? Then, in equilibrium, we know that what is actually produced should be equal to planned expenses, planned expenditures. This is what? This is also line with positive slope, and slope is equal to 1. When we equalize them, planned expenditures and how much is actually how much is actually bought and sold, we will find our equilibrium GDP, and we counted it 700. Agree?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So then C. In point C, suppose households increase their autonomous saving by 10. Autonomous saving increased by 10. We should rewrite it in our terms that we know. What means to save more? That means to consume less.
Yes.
That means that our autonomous consumption will decrease by 10.
Yep.
That means that change in autonomous consumption equal to decrease minus 10.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Then, so the change in GDP will be equal to autonomous multiplier multiplied by the change in autonomous consumption. And this is 1 over 1 minus 0.8 multiplied by minus 10. By how much GDP will decrease?
Minus 50.
By 50. And new equilibrium GDP is 750. How to draw it on the graph? How to draw it on the graph? Our autonomous consumption is where? In autonomous spendings. It is the part of autonomous spendings. So if autonomous consumption decreased by 10, that means that autonomous spending is decreased by 10. So here will be not 140, but 130, lower by 10. So we start here from 130. This difference is the change in autonomous consumption minus 10. The slope is the same. Marginal propensity to consume stays the same. And you see it crosses to the left. Yes. Then before. New GDP 650. And this difference is the change in GDP minus 50. Guys, please, questions?
In the right, there is e-plant, right? The diagram.
Yes, these are planned expenditures, and these are actual expenditures. They are equal to what is actually produced. And then in equilibrium, planned expenditures, how much we are planning to spend, should be equal to how much we are actually spend. This is the equilibrium situation. Yes, that's why we cross actual spendings and planned spendings. And we find GDP. Total spendings, yes, of all economic agents. So what we see? We see that our GDP decreased, but national savings will be equal to what in your situation? Do not think, please.
Investment? No, not investment.
Investments, yes, exactly.
Yes.
Always equal to investments. One more time, Investments
Sorry.
always equal to savings of all economic agents. Here
Yes.
we do not have foreign sector, that's why investments equal to national savings.
Yes.
Yes. So national savings, they does not change. They're equal to 50. How it was?
Yes.
You can check it. You can check it. When we draw this national, when we derived this national savings, when we derived it, what we so national savings consisted of disposable income minus CA, autonomous, minus marginal propensity to consume multiplied by YD, plus taxes minus government spendings. This is national savings. This is 1 minus marginal propensity to consume multiplied by Y minus taxes plus taxes minus government spendings. What is happening in our situation? Forgot. Sorry, minus CA also. When we consume less in our situation, autonomous consumption becomes lower. Yes, but also GDP becomes lower. You see here, minus CA, so this was minus, it becomes bigger, but GDP becomes lower. And these two effects delete each other such that national savings stay constant. Agree? And they are equal to constant investments. And where is the paradox of thrift? We save in our situation. We begin to save more. Save more. And what was happening? GDP decreases, but national savings stays the same. With same level of national savings, economy became poorer, more poor. You understood? Yes, this is the paradox. Let's write down in words, maybe for you to remember. Wait 1 sec. Okay, never mind. Okay, let's write down that national savings stay the same, but economy is more poor now. Agree?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And last question, very fast also. Last question. Up to now, we have considered investment spending to be exogenous. In real economies, investment often positively depends on the level of GDP. If this was the case in our model, would the paradox of thrift become weaker or stronger? Let's see. Point D. In here we have a constant investment, but investment, for example, can look like a function as a function out of GDP with positive slope. So this will be, for example, this constant plus something, I don't know, 0.1 multiplied by GDP. So this 0.1 we will call marginal propensity to invest. Higher GDP, higher level of investments in the economy. Marginal propensity to invest. As to consume, but to invest. Okay, and if we will solve the same for our example, now we will have with such an inform, or we will have national savings, GDP with such information in equilibrium will be equal to 140. You can check it. I will send to you maybe. And then, but national savings are equal to what? National savings. They're equal to investments always, yes? But investments now depends on GDP. For example, 190. And it is bigger than 50 right now. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Then if we consider, for example, the change, why we need to this change in investment? Now, if we save more, same. If we save more, consume less, then GDP will decrease. Yes, then GDP will decrease, and investments will decrease. Yes, that means that national savings will decrease. And here we understand that this paradox of thrift, it will disappear. Yes. Now national savings will not be constant. They will become lower. What that means? It is stronger. This paradox will become stronger or weaker. if we will save less. So we decided to save less. No. We decided to save more right now. If we have such, we decided to save more. We understood that GDP became lower, yes, but also national savings became lower. You see this? One more time, national savings equal to investment equal to, for example, 50 plus 0.1 multiplied by y. But also national savings are now lower. And this is stronger paradox of thrift or weaker? If national savings are lower, what that means?
Stronger.
Stronger, because
Yeah,
national
stronger.
savings are.
Isn't it weaker because it became less?
If national savings are now lower, that means that consumption is higher, yes?
Oh,
No, because it's national savings.
consumption is lower also.
Consumption is lower also.
So basically it became
Weaker.
stronger because we cannot consume and we have decrease in demand and decrease in national savings. So maybe
National savings will decrease, investment, yes, will also decrease, but they are equal to each other. Yes.
Can you repeat the question, please?
My question was now, if we now have positive connection between GDP and investment, paradox of thrift is now stronger or weaker than before when we have constant investment. When we have investment constant, then what we had? Autonomous savings increases, that means GDP decreases. But national savings, constant. But now, when investment depends positively on GDP, we have national savings, so they became lower. What that means? I think it's stronger effect, it's a stronger paradox of thrift, yes, because our economies save less right now. We decided to save more, but actually we save less, yes? To save more. But now actually save less. Without this connection, yes, when investments are constant, we decided to save more, but we save the same amount actually. But here we save less. So paradox of thrift is stronger now.
Can I ask a question? So can we understand? So when the investments aren't constant, it anyways so means that paradox becomes stronger or not?
Now we made such conclusion. Yes. If investments are not constant, and we compare with the situation when investments are constant, then paradox of thrift is stronger. Because one more time. If investments are constant and we decide to increase our savings, then because GDP decreases and our savings stay the same. We decided to save more, but we save the same amount, actually. And here, we decided to save more, but in reality, we save less than before. So this Paradox is stronger. Yes? We became poorer. That's why we save less. Our savings are lower, actually. And that's bad. Okay?